Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 6th. This week, you start with this leg up card and this go the distance card. I think it was you maybe that had this leg up card with me recently, and it is a card of being lifted up by the universe or receiving some assistance in whatever it is that you're working on. So I think that a lot of you, it could be a great time to get assistance. Again, with Pluto in your sign at this time and for almost 20 years, I think it'll be a great time for you to get like help or assistance, especially if you're working on like projects or ideas or, businesses, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. But I think it would be a great time for you to work with other people or to get like assistance from other people. And that's definitely what I'd be doing with this energy. The go the distance card says, like, if you're going to do something, go all the way, basically. It's a card of seeing something through to the end or kind of like crossing that finish line. And I feel it would be a great time for you to, finish something up that you've like wanted to finish. It doesn't even have to be like you finishing something. It could just be you, reaching the finish line. But, in the sense that like if you started something, you're getting it to a certain point, but you're probably going to keep doing it. So there you go. You have the Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Five of Swords. Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. The first thing that popped into my head is that you shouldn't change direction. Again, like I said, I think it might be a better time for you to like not necessarily quit on something. I think you need to see something through to the end. So, sometimes I think the Seven of Pentacles is like analysis paralysis. He's just looking at these Seven Pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it for me to keep putting energy into what I'm working on, or is there something better? And so I think that this is saying like don't be too quick to change, and I'm not telling you not to change either. What I'm telling you to do is to weigh up the options. Really, sometimes you have to analyze what you're working on with the Seven of Pentacles, and you have to say, and you have to run the numbers, right? And you have to say this is worth it or it's not. But really, it's all about getting the proof. And in 2024, there were a lot of messages for you, Aquarius, about getting the proof before you make a decision. So it's all about looking at the evidence, and that's what I would do here. You have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, definitely for the fixed signs. I mean, for many years into the future, it'll be a good idea for you to follow your heart. The Queen of Cups, she really values what her heart is telling her to do. And that's what she does. She follows her heart. So I think that, your readings have all been pretty much saying the same thing about, following your heart or listening to what your heart is telling you to do. It's funny that we have the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords would be like much more logical and thoughtful. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I do feel we are in a heart-based time with the Queen of Cups. You have the Five of Swords. Again, interesting here that we go Five of Swords to the Judgment card. Five of Swords can represent walking away from something, but the Judgment card can represent like the rebirth of something. And so again, it's kind of giving me the vibes of like not giving up, especially if you're working on a project or a business. Like I don't think this is about a person. I feel like this is something that you're clearly working towards. We have the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles is a finished result. And so, I think that you're trying to get a result on whatever it is that you're working on, like in work or business, your career. And this is kind of the first part of the reading is saying like don't quit. It's saying make sure to see whatever this is through to the end. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, if you are feeling stuck, which we don't really have a lot of stuck energy in the reading, but if you are, then the Nine of Wands says don't give up, literally what I just said. But the Nine of Wands is also about experimentation. It says you need to try all the different ways of doing things. This is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So it might be a really good time for you to experiment or try new directions or try new things to get whatever it is you're working on to work. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Seven of Cups here. You always get the Seven of Cups with me as well, Aquarius. And the Seven of Cups is being spoiled for choice. But it can say that, he's looking at good things and bad things in those cups normally on a traditional Seven of Cups. And it kind of says like he's just thinking about all the good things and bad things that would happen if he were to, finish his project or if he were to do something. But really, he's not going to know until he manifests it on Earth. So the Seven of Cups says, well, really, you don't know. And that's okay. And you just need to see what's going to happen. So I definitely feel that for you. With the Five of Swords, you have the King of Wands. Again, I do feel like there could be a person that really has good advice, which I'm pretty sure we said in your January reading as well, and your bonus reading, it came up as well. But again, Five of Pentacles represents feeling left out in the cold, or feeling like you don't have the resources necessary to accomplish something. And then we go to the Three of Pentacles, which would be the finished result. So it's almost like some of you just need like better ideas, which you could get from like a mentor or a person or a guide or like your parents or whatever. But I think that this is about like speaking up about what you're working on, because again, this looks like work or business to me. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Dragonfly Spirit. It says, shift your way of thinking and tackle the issue from a different angle. There you go. Literally what the whole entire reading is about. You have this path to knowledge. It says, you're journeying into the realm of knowledge to assist you in your personal growth. Yes, this whole entire reading is about seeing something through to the end, or crossing that finish line on something that you're either you have thought about giving up on, or maybe you're just asking yourself if it's worth it, with the Seven of Pentacles also showing up in your reading. And again, the Dragonfly literally said that you just have to look at this from a different angle. The whole entire reading says that you have to look at it from a different angle. The good news is you have this Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords, she only has clouds halfway up her body, and so it kind of represents the fact that she's gaining clarity for the first time. So I feel a lot of you could finally be clear on what you need to do or changes that you need to make. And I feel this could be very helpful for you, this Queen of Swords energy. I would be mixing together both, like your head and your heart. Queen of Cups being your heart, Queen of Swords being your head. And I would, kind of look at things from all angles, especially with the two sevens, for sure. Anything that you're trying to accomplish. You have the Judgment card. Again, I got this feeling on that Five of Swords of walking away from something, but the Judgment card was like you're returning back to it, is the message I was kind of getting earlier. So, I would say don't give up. And you have the Nine of Wands. And you go from, even this way, we go down to the Three of Pentacles. So it's almost like you're revisiting something that you've worked on before, or you are kind of like, I'm not saying that you've ever quit on this. With the Five of Swords was kind of saying to me that you're thinking about giving up on something. And, I feel like this is saying that you're not going to give up on something. The Judgment card can represent like an epiphany, or, having like a aha moment or a light bulb moment. Actually, the Tower would make this reading even better, because the Tower with Judgment is kind of like a major revelation, which I kind of feel like you need right now, but, we'll see what comes up. You have the Five of Pentacles, definitely feeling like you can't do something here, going this way to the Three of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold, lacking the resources, or not being sure if you're going to be able to find the resources. But I don't know, Aquarius, it's like a pretty simple reading. It's like it's saying to me that you're going to accomplish something that maybe you have thought in the past, or you have been thinking currently that you can't accomplish, but it's like you are. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords kind of wants us to slow things down. The Knight of Swords, normally the horse that's on the Knight of Swords, he looks stressed out. He looks like he is kind of like forcing that horse to run, and the horse looks stressed out. And so the Knight of Swords can say it might be time to slow things down. And again, with the Seven of Pentacles, I feel that analyzing what you've been doing or analyzing what you've been working on would be a very good idea. With the Judgment card, you have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is like celebration, your community, and all that other good stuff. So again, I think that there is either a person or people that can help you on your journey right now, and I would be tapping into those resources. The resource of a person or the resource of people that can help you, and that's what I'd be working on here. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yes, news. Like I said, this to me is like an epiphany, or kind of like a wake-up call, or, kind of like a last-minute idea that you could be having. So I would definitely be paying attention to any like last-minute ideas that pop into your head, especially surrounding work or business or whatever it is that you're creating. The Page of Pentacles can be like a messenger, or a person who brings messages. The Page of Pentacles can also be education. He's a card of studiousness and learning. So I think it would be an amazing time to learn as much as you can about like anywhere that you are stuck in life. Again, Five of Pentacles is calling attention to your weaknesses. So with the Five of Pentacles, I always say the easiest solution is to pay attention to your strengths, or, all the reasons why you should do something, not the reasons you shouldn't. And the Page of Pentacles would say that focusing on education or learning about whatever you're trying to accomplish will lead to a result. So I think, that will be good for you with the Page of Pentacles. But again, if you're looking for a solution, I definitely feel, communicating with people, communicating with like experts or a mentor is kind of your solution here. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Inspire card and this Trust card. I think you need to trust your inspirations. The Queen of Cups is like your heart telling you to do something, and then you go to the Queen of Swords and you try to make it logical. The Queen of Swords is the thinking like, oh, this can't work because it's not logical, right? And so I kind of feel like this is saying you need to trust that side of you that is giving you inspirations, or you need to listen to those inspirations and kind of trust where they're guiding you, because I feel they are going to lead to success. I also do feel with the Judgment card that the Judgment card again could be an inspiration that is coming in for you this week, but kind of like more of an epiphany. You have the King of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Three of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is about leaving. Well, it's not, but I feel for you, Aquarius, it's about getting out of a comfort zone, and I'll tell you what I mean. He is the card of convention, so he does things the way they've always been done, which there's nothing really wrong with that with the King of Pentacles, but the King of Pentacles wants us to kind of like experiment, try new things. So the whole entire reading basically says that you need to innovate, which you're an Aquarius. You are very good at innovation, especially if you want to reach new heights, or, if you want to like exceed your expectations or push the limits. I think now would be a really good time to experiment with the work that you do, or try new things, learn new things, and implement them. He is successful. He's a card of building wealth, but again, he's kind of like a one-trick pony. He only has like one thing that makes him successful, which isn't, obviously necessarily a bad thing, but he kind of needs to become more well-rounded, and that's what I feel in this reading. You have the Magician. You can have whatever you want, Aquarius. The Magician is a very good card of manifestation. The Magician can be your card as well, Aquarius, so whenever you show up as yourself, puts you in a position of power and strength. But with the Magician, we have to make sure we're using all the tools, and he has all the different suits. He has all the ace versions of the suits in front of him here on the card, and it kind of says that maybe, like I said with that King of Pentacles, maybe you're thinking that you need money to do something, but really maybe all you need is a little creativity with the Wands, or maybe you need to follow your emotions with the Cups, or maybe you need to be more focused with the Swords, or maybe you need to use communication with the Swords. So the Magician kind of says you need to use all the tools at your disposal, especially if you're only using one tool to get a job done this week. I would be opening up to everything and kind of like see what works, see what doesn't, and double down on what works. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Again, whatever you're thinking about giving up on, or I don't necessarily think that all of you are like thinking about giving up on something, but I think that some of you are like, okay, I'm out of ideas. I'm not sure what my next steps are, and I kind of feel the Three of Pentacles is saying, well, you are going to produce a result. Again, he has produced a result. He has these Three Pentacles here, and not only that, he has done a good job. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. He has accomplished his goal, and he has kind of gone a little bit above and beyond. There's this fire triangle here, and there's a water triangle right here, and the water triangle says that he added like a little bit extra to the thing that he was working on, and now he's receiving recognition for what he has done. So again, I think that there is a lot of opportunity for you to like accomplish a lot this week. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Swords. Can't make it up. Seven of Swords is about doing something in a different way. The Seven of Swords, a lot of people read it as lying, cheating, stealing, but, again, I think this reading's all about you, Aquarius, and you accomplishing something very specifically. The Seven of Swords, he is normally stealing the swords from the army in the background, so this card literally represents what the Dragonfly card said. It says, he is tackling the issue from a different angle, like that card says. He, instead of going to war with that army, he's stealing those swords so they can't be used against him in battle. So it basically says there's probably another way, or there are probably better ways, if you put your thinking cap on here, to accomplish your goals, but you're going to have to think about it, and you're going to have to actually do it as well. With the Magician, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, happy home, happy family, all those things. We see a lot of, family cards or community cards like the Three of Cups as well. And so I feel that for a lot of you that, again, a lot of the answers could be coming from your community or people that you know, or, people that you look up to. Again, I'm pretty sure we said this in your January reading, so it's definitely something I would focus on. This month is kind of like your resource of people that could help you you or that maybe know more than you about accomplishing things or finishing projects. And that's what I'd be focused on here. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, card of expansion. I think this is true for everyone. Like, if we want to accomplish something in 2025, Happy New Year, by the way. Today is January 1st. Then we need to kind of like go to those places that we've never been before. We need to expand, we need to explore, we need to learn new things and, use new tools in life. And the people that do that are going to be a lot more successful. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Badger Spirit. It says, be fearless, be bold. You have this Hummingbird. It says, be here, be now. The Hummingbird kind of represents also going on a long journey. Hummingbirds have the longest migrations of any bird, and to find their food. And so it kind of represents going on this long journey to get your nectar. And so I think that there are really rewards coming in this year. I don't think it's like this week. I think you'll start seeing results, but I think your results are kind of coming this year, especially for those of you that have been working on something specific, like a project or a goal. And if you haven't been, I would start now so that you can get something in the future. And, that's what I would focus on. You have the Devil. The funny thing is I feel great clarity here. That's not what the Devil represents, but I read intuitively. If I get a message, I say it. So, I feel for a lot of you, I'm getting something about clarity on the Devil card. It's almost like you could be seeing things that are toxic more clearly so that you can eliminate them. The Devil and the good stuff could also be about work, and it can just say that you're, working on the right things to get a result. The other thing I would say with this reading is there isn't, I feel like I need to say there isn't enough creativity. So, again, tapping into your creative side, I think could be very beneficial for you. And the Devil can sometimes represent needing to tap into that creative side or needing to tap into your creative voice. You have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer shores, of course. So I think for a lot of you, you could be creating improvements or heading towards certain improvements in your life. Or you could be, having improvements in your life, which I think, of course, would be a good thing with the Six of Swords. But definitely moving on to calmer shores here. I do feel there are big changes, obviously. I mean, again, having Pluto enter into your sign is a major transformation. So, Aquarius is probably going to transform the most over the next, 20 years or so. And so it wouldn't surprise me if you are making big changes or moving on to calmer shores or doing things to create big changes in your life. And, I think it's just part of the process. Again, I think this is a very simple reading. I think your solution to the reading is Nine of Wands. Number one, don't quit on whatever it is you're working towards. Number two, I would be experimenting as much as possible. I think the more you experiment, the more success you're going to find. And, that's what I would do here with the Nine of Wands. With the Devil here, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is about curiosity and needing to follow your curiosity. Again, normally the Devil with the Page of Swords would be bad because, it could say that someone toxic from your past is spying on you, but it's coming up in the good stuff. And so I kind of feel this is saying that you are exploring new ideas. With the Six of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. Follow your heart, really. I mean, again, if I were a fixed sign, that's what I would be doing. Is I would just be really listening to what my heart is telling me to do. I think the problem for fixed signs is it's there is a certain ideas or traditions, almost like Hierophant energy. You've been raised in a certain way, or you grew up believing certain things. And then, again, I think the following your heart could be telling you to break tradition, which is the challenge that all fixed signs are facing right now. And so I think you need to follow your heart. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Hangman. Hangman is about being in hangman mode, but it's coming up in the good stuff. Like I said, definitely some sort of epiphany coming in for you this week, or light bulb moment, because of this, the Judgment card. Hangman, his head is glowing. He's put himself in hangman mode so he can gain enlightenment, and definitely coming up in the good stuff, this would represent gaining enlightenment. So I think you're kind of getting the answers you need this week as well. You have this Diamond card that says you'll be receiving or giving a gift. I do feel you could be receiving the gift of knowledge, from a person. And, that could be part of the epiphany that you could be having this week. You have this Lightning card that says control your anger or you will be sorry. Yes, I would definitely say Mars retrograde. It's never a good time to, fly off the handle. You have this Vulture that says depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Again, Mars retrograde. I think a lot of people feel like this during Mars retrograde. Mars retrograde, brings out the ego in people, so people can say things to us from a place of ego, or we could just be noticing more trolls in life, or people who are kind of hating. And I think the best thing to do is to ignore it. You have this family sorrow card. I think with the Three of Cups and the Ten of Cups, you could be healing a family issue, or you could be healing something going on with the family. What's really interesting is I do feel like some of you, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think some of you could be having, or it's like you could be seeing a toxic side to like a person in your life. It could be family, but I feel like it's someone you consider family. So it's like, we all have those like friends and, things like that where we consider that person a family member. And I feel like some of you could be seeing someone, who you thought was a certain way. And it's almost like you're seeing their true colors or something like that this week. Didn't I say this to you last week? I feel like I said something to you last week about like being careful of, a person that you're close to. Like I feel, again, just going back to the reading, I think you need to look at a person's results. Like if you're working together with a person, if you just spend a lot of time with a person, I would look at their results, because again, it's almost like I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You could be sad about like what you discover about a person, but I also feel like it's important. Like I feel that it's going to be an important learning lesson, but I also feel it'll get you out of something that is basically like quicksand. I have this feeling of getting sucked in like by a person, but never really. It's like you're treading water. You're just not going anywhere. So yeah, I don't know. That might not make sense to all of you, but I feel like for some of you it will. You have this funnel card. It says period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I think you're getting through this period of frustration because you have this like all this epiphany energy showing up in the reading. But pretty straightforward reading here, Aquarius. It's really about like one thing, which actually I like readings that are only about one thing because it's like easier to focus on what you're doing. But looks really good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.